family. I am going to be doing a tutorial for you today on hooded eyes or aging crepey eyes that hang over. I'm going to be showing you this look, how to achieve more open look with your eyes if you have hooded eyes or if you have aging eyes. Now you can see that mine are partially hooded, and I kind of camouflaged the hood a little bit by doing a couple of things with light colors on my eyes and then the dark color, and I'm going to show you that in the tutorial. Many of you in the past few videos that I put up have asked me to do a tutorial on my eye look. So this is the basic way that I do it. I'm going to show you in the tutorial, you know, what I use, how I achieve this look. You can use whatever colors you want. I happen to use mostly Colourpop today, which I absolutely love the way that they glide on and that they blend together. I had somebody say, you don't do any tutorials, you have all this makeup, you don't do tutorials, and that's true. I haven't done as much as I should. I'm gonna change that, but what I want to get across to you guys is tutorials are a little bit harder for me. One is that I have the hand problem that I do with my hand shaking, and I have a bit of palsy, and then if I get nervous, like I kind of get nervous because I want to do the best job possible for you guys, I get nervous and they shake even more. Plus, the other thing is I don't like to see myself without makeup on camera, so that's being a little bit vain, I know, but I'm going to break through those two barriers, and I'm going to continue to bring you as many tutorials as you guys would like. I really like the way that this eye look turned out today, and I hope you guys do too. If you do, please give it that thumbs up, and the other thing is please click that red button below and subscribe if you're new to the channel here. And if you're not new, ladies, I hope that you like this. I have really enjoyed wearing this eye look lately, and the little tips that I'm going to show you on how to, you know, work with a hooded eye. So let's get right into that. Okay, so the only thing that I have on is my foundation, and I'm going to start with the eye look with the Milani eyeshadow primer. I really like this primer. It seems to make my eye makeup last all day. You need a tiny, tiny amount. Can you see that right there? I'm just going to use a tiny amount, put it between those two fingers, and then just very, very gently just glide it across the lid. And just cover the whole lid and go up into the eyebrows so that whatever eyebrow makeup that you use or eyebrow tint or whatever, it also stays, and this does help that a lot. Now I'm going to take just a tiny bit more of that, like half of what I took from before, in those two fingers still, and I'm going to go right under where you're going to line your under eye right there on the lash line, and I'm going to stay as close as I can and just tiny, tiny pat it. I don't want it to come down because it would mess with my concealer, but I want it to be there for some help on holding on to whatever eyeliner that I'm going to put on. So just patting that really lightly across there. I'm going to take just a highlight pencil. This one was from Colourpop, and I'm just taking this pencil. Hopefully that will come on. There we go. I'm going to put that underneath my brow bone about 2/3 of the way in and then out, just to give a little bit of lift there for my eye. And I'm doing this before I start my eyebrows because this is a really emollient product. It dries down fine. I'm afraid it would drag the eyebrow liner or whatever, the eyebrow pencil or whatever I used on there. I'm afraid that it would drag the color off. So then I just kind of pat that in, and that gives that instant lift to that. The next thing that I do is I take my tape. This is a no-brainer, and I use this almost every time I do my eye makeup. You guys are always saying, your eye makeup looks good, you know, what are you doing? This is what I do. I love this method because it gives you the cat eye look without having to do a cat eye liner, wing liner. I'm basically just going to start at a little bit further out here than the eyebrow, and I'm going to lay it down in. And I'm really trying hard not to grasp too much of that skin or pull too much of that skin any way that is not natural. And so I'm going to do that, and then what I'm going to do is can you guys see that? I'm staying away from the corner of my eye, just like 1/8 of an inch or so, just a tiny bit, so that I can still blend and have that wing in there. Again, trying to even them up and staying away from that very little corner right there, about 1/8 of an inch. You're gonna have a tendency to want to go, you know, lift your eyebrows. Don't do that, especially if you have older eyes, because then it's gonna like crease in places you don't want it to. So just let it lay on there however naturally it needs to. It doesn't feel natural, believe me, but it's really, really good for the placement of this eye look. So I chose to work with Colourpop today. The first color that I'm taking is called Wattles. I showed you guys this in my yearly favorites, and this is just like a kind of a medium brown color, but I'm gonna take it light and use it as my transition color. So with hooded eyes or aging eyes, you know, that droop over the lid, what you want to do is instead of going in an arch eyebrow motion, you want to kind of stay in a more even motion. And the reason is because that has a tendency to take this outer corner and lift that up instead of you seeing most of the color right here. So let me just get started, and like I said, I'm going to be looking a little bit away, but I'll be trying to look back and forth with the monitor. So we're just trying to go, you know, straight across here instead of up. So from this corner in here out to that corner, we're just trying to buff in a little bit of straightness there. And you guys, you know how shaky I am. You know, I have that palsy in my hands. I apologize. I also have a medication that makes me a shaky mess, so I apologize for that. One of the things that's really, really nice about Colourpop is that you don't have fallout. You don't have to tap off your brush. It's a creamy product, cream to powder product. I love these in this pot. I hope they never do away with that formula. I know that they just came out with their pressed formula, but I hope that they never do away with this formula because it is my favorite as far as eyeshadows go. Okay, so can you see how I'm like trying to stay in more of a straight line instead of arching that up? This is really important for hooded eyes or crepey aging eyes. Now you can lift your eyebrows a little bit if you want to, like this, and do, you know, this straighter line. The other thing is, and I say this in all my tutorials, hold your ferrule of your brush, which is the handle, hold it way up here so that you're using a really, really light touch with this brush. On this color, this is your transition color. Obviously, we want this color to just be more blended, more soft as compared to the other colors that we're going to put on this eye look. And we want to bring it in here too, not down in the cavern, but into the eye there. Just darkening this up and getting it to the point to where I want it to be. Next, I'm taking a color that is called Drift. This is an absolutely gorgeous, like cranberry red. I am so in love with this color. You can tell I've used it quite a bit. It does have a bit of a sheen to it. Here is my take on wearing shimmery colors or colors with the sheen on them as you age. I have heard over and over again that women over a certain age should not wear glitter or shimmers or anything like that because it draws attention. I don't feel like that. I feel like if you look at yourself and you like what you see, whether you've got a shimmer on or whether you've got the mattest matte color on the planet on, if you like it, that's what matters, because liking what you see gives you confidence. And so I still wear them. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to keep wearing them until I look in the mirror and I think, oh my goodness, what did you do? So again, I'm swirling my brush kind of lightly because this is a pretty intense color. This is the second color that we're going to do, and we're going to stay on that outside edge. I'm going to lay that color down because where I put that color the first, that's where most of the color goes. So I'm going to lay that color right there. And I'm going to create a little bit of a wing with that color, begin to create a little bit of a wing. And then I'm just going to come in. I'm not coming in all the way, about 2/3 of the way, trying to give more of a straight line. And I'm going to come about 1/3 of the way in out there, maybe a little bit further out there on the corner. I'm hoping you guys can see this well. Taking it on the other side and starting right there on that corner, down on the lid itself, bringing it in just a little bit more than 1/4 of the way, maybe 1/3 of the way on that lid. Yeah, about 1/3 of the way, I'd say. And then coming up towards the eyebrow right there and going straight across 2/3 of the way in. Light touch, girls. Really light touch. Just keep blending until you think you have it exactly where you want it to be. I'm doing it a little bit darker on myself because filming does have a tendency to wash us out, especially when we have the artificial light on us. So I am putting on a lot, it seems like, but it's because it doesn't show up as well on film. So that is the second color. I like that, except for, can you see right here, I hardly brought it up at all. So I'm going to try and fix that a little bit. Just bring it up ever so slightly. Little motions of light strokes, okay? Okay, so that color is done. I'm gonna move on to the next one. This one is called Bay, and this is a duochrome color. Now when you see it right here, you're gonna see absolutely looking teal green. That's what the sheen is on it. But this color is gonna go on deep eggplant or deep purple brown, and then it's going to just pick up that little bit of a sheen. You're going to be really surprised when I show it to you. I'm just picking that up, and I'm just going in here a few times. I'm not really going to like go crazy with trying to lift product, because this color can get really deep, and if you start out deep, you're going to have a problem. So again, really light on your hand, up with that ferrule way up there, and then just start dotting right there on that edge, just ever so slightly. And I turned my brush over so I could get more product, and I am just really lightly doing it. Okay, so now I'm going on to the other side. Try and get these sides even as I go. Again, we're just working very slightly out here just to give a little bit of depth. I'm not bringing this color over. This is my deepest color. I'm not bringing it over, otherwise the look would just disappear into a dark mess. So I'm not bringing that over hardly at all. Just out there on that outer corner to really deepen up that V look that I'm going to get with this tape. So this really does help. In a straight line across, I'm just going to go back and forth on these colors until I have the color that I want. Okay, going back in with that original brush, now I'm just going to kind of blend everything together very lightly, because I don't want to lose my color and I don't want to lose the definition that I've gotten from that dark color. So very lightly, just to blend it up just a little bit into the eyebrow area. I don't feel that I got this quite dark enough in the corner. I'll show you what I'm going to do in just a minute to kind of darken that up. Okay, so take off the tape, and you have this beautiful crisp line on both eyes. Look at that, ladies. Isn't that great? I'm going to do my concealer, and then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do my eyeliner. So I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay guys, so I have the rest of my cheeks on, my lips done, my eyebrows done. So then let's finish the rest of the eye. For a base on my actual lid, I'm going to use this color called Coppa Feel, and it's just a very plain cream color, and I'm just going to take a flat paddle brush and pick that product up, and I'm just going to pat it and lay it down there part of the way on the lid there and out. Just a bit to give a really nice base. I really like this color too because I can go right here and pat that color in there and that inner rim, or in the inner cavern in there. What I'm going to be using for the shimmer part of that lid look is the new palette from Blond. It's their Spotlight Strobing palette, and I'm just going to pick up some of that white and a tiny bit of that pink, but mostly the white. So just back and forth until I get however much I think I need on there. And then I'm going to again just pat and lay that down. And then I'm going to actually pat it down in the corners of my eyes right here to give that inner corner brightening look that we all like. Not too crazy with the highlight on the inner corner today, but just enough that it really brightens that look up. So now I'm going to take that brush that I used for the red color, and I'm just going to sweep everything here and just really blend well. And I am just blending the crap out of everything. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this chocolate brown NYX felt tip pen liner, and I am going to put this on the waterline right there. Now I'm not gonna bring that down too far because what I'm wanting to do is lift it. So if I brought that line all the way down to the corner, it would drag that look down. So I'm not gonna go all the way out there, but I am gonna go clear into the inner rim to define that lash line so that when I put my mascara on, it really shows up well. So I'm gonna do it on this eye, and I'm sorry, I'm so shaky and I'm gonna mess up. See, I brought it up too far right there. I'm just coming in again to the inner rim. I'm so sorry that I'm looking this way, but this is where my mirror is. In again to the inner rim and all the way out in short little motions. And trying to lay that liner down on its side so that it can do a lot of the work for me. The reason that I chose brown is because this is already kind of a stark look and I didn't want to go too dramatic on the eyes, and it kind of just gives it just a tiny bit more softness. Now I'm going to line the inner lower waterline, and I'm using a Smashbox. This is their called Penny Lane, and this is their waterproof kohl liner, always sharp. I'm gonna take this beauty blender because I don't want to disturb my makeup too much that's under there, and I'm gonna pull down so I can do my waterline. And again, I'm not using black because I really want this look to be about the shadows and pulling the shadows up, not necessarily about just having super dramatic dark eyes. Okay, so with these super shock shadows, we don't have to worry too much about putting the liner on for shadow to stick onto because they're the cream formula, and once you put them on, they're on. I'm taking the red color and I'm just taking a little bit of it onto the edge of that, and I'm going to pat in there all the way around the waterline that color. And again, my hands are so shaky, I'm sorry, but this is what I have to deal with every day. So I end up doing a lot of patting in my eye looks because I have such shaky hands. Okay, now what I want to do, you can see how it kind of did a little wonky thing right there. I'm going to fix that in a minute and I'll show you how. I'm going to go in with that darkest color. I'm going to go in there with that same brush. Didn't clean it off or anything, I'm just loading the brush a little bit and staying right here on the outer corner. And I'm just patting that to make this eye look a little darker. Now I'm going to bring it up and darken the outer V of this eye look. Now on this side, same thing, just patting it on the outer corner, bringing it up, turning my brush, and patting it into the crease. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, well, what in the world did we do that line for, right? Okay, I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'm just going to roll it up to try and get some of that line back a little bit. Won't be too much. Basically, we're just going to soften that line anyway. Okay, and now I have a flat liner brush, very flat liner brush, and I am just taking those colors and I'm just sweeping them together. The color from the straight line with the bottom lash line color. It's all the same color, but now we're just making it a little bit soft. Now, if you can see this, now on this side I did really good, and this side got a little bit out of kilter there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that beauty blender that has a little bit of my foundation on it still, and I'm just gonna kind of wiggle it in there and take a little bit of that makeup off. The very last thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna take that original brush that we had, and I'm going to very lightly just soften the edges of this. Just tiny softening. Okay, you guys, now that is the finished cat eye look. I really love this technique. I'm going to put some mascara on, and through the magic of television, my hair's going to be done, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk a little bit about this. Okay, that's the completed look by the magic of video. My hair is all done and I'm all put together. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial on hooded eyes or aging crepey eyes. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to know in the comment section below if you guys want me to continue to do series on how to look younger with makeup, and how makeup can help transform us and help us to look younger and feel younger at the same time. I would love to be able to bring those to you, those tutorials to you, if there's something that you're interested in. If there's other things that you're interested in, let me know in the comment section below too. I think that is everything, you guys. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye. As we age, we need